Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill and welcome to Suncoast FYI. Today we learn about a creative collaboration for Ringling College student scholarships and a local art business you'll get a kick out of. Plus we get prepared for the upcoming hurricane season with our SNN morning meteorologist. Ringling College of Art and Design has joined forces with Designing Women Boutique for an exciting new collaboration. And here to tell us more is Ringling College Development Officer, Mickey Laura. So nice to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
My dear colleague.
Oh, absolutely. You do such a great job at Made by Gallery and such a good job in the show, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well, thank you. Okay, thank you. Yes, I did tell you to say that, but you weren't supposed to. Anyways, what's Groundworks? That's the name of the new collaboration, right?
Right. Groundworks is a really fun and easy way for people to participate in some of the nonprofits in town and help them raise more funds for scholarships and mentoring. It's the brainchild of Jean Widener-Goldstein, one of the founders of Designing Women Boutique. Mm-hmm. And she wanted to find a way to sort of give an extra push to some of the nonprofits in town.
That need a little more of a shout out.
Exactly. And so basically Groundworks gets the opportunity for donors to donate items to Designing Women Boutique and earmark it toward one of the selected partners.
Okay, so that's how our viewers can participate. If they have something that they want to donate and they have a favorite charity.
That's right. If it's one of the participating partners, that's right.
Okay. And what types of items do they look for?
Well, Designing Women Boutique is a venerable institution. It's probably the finest consignment store in the area.
It is. It's gorgeous.
It's absolutely stunning. Yeah. And they take a wide range of items, but they're all high-end, they're all high fashion, they're all designer. Mm-hmm. So it's handbags, accessories, jewelry, shoes, anything, that you maybe had gotten and you've only used once or a few times. Maybe they're sadly outgrown. Mm-hmm. We'll take those. We take antiques, gifts of art. Those are wonderful things. But there's also a number of household items, beautiful sets of dishes,
furniture,
glass, tabletop, anything, designer clothing of all sorts. This is a great opportunity for people to dig deep, go in their closets and their storage units. Maybe you have that fur that you're tired of paying rental and storage fees for all of these years. Mm-hmm. Bring it over. They'll take a fur.
Okay. All right. And there are other participating nonprofits?
That's right. So the organization was founded with 8 organizations. Let me see if I can remember them. Ringling College, Sarasota Healthcare Foundation, Out of Door Academy, Girls Inc., the Marie Selby Garden, the YMCA, some of the really established venerable institutions. And Groundworks gives donors an opportunity to support those organizations by donating items for them. Since that time, the Roskamp Institute has been added, and USF, interestingly enough.
Great.
And also, I'd really like to mention and give a shout out to BMO Wealth Management, Private Banking. They've signed on to be the major sponsor for this, and that's just been a terrific partnership with them as well.
That's awesome. Now, Groundworks is how new? I mean, when was this launched?
It was started just over a year ago, just over a year ago. Okay. So it's been about a year in progress. We've had a couple of group-wide fundraisers. We had an upscale sidewalk sale last spring. That was a big hit.
I had the
you
gals
probably
on.
you saw the tents out there, and we had music and food, and it was.
You're going to do it again?
I'm not sure. I'm not in the planning part of this. My
right.
guess is that they will, because it was really a terrific success.
All right. Now, with it being so new, has it already had an impact, we'll say, on Ringling College scholarships, for example?
Well, considering that it hasn't been so long, we are thrilled with the participation. We had cocktail parties in downtown Sarasota to introduce people to the concept. We had people at the Oaks having closet clean-out drives. We had people on Longboat Key becoming captains of their buildings to get people engaged. And these are all great examples and ways for people to become engaged.
Right.
You don't have to just bring your things, but get your neighbors, get your friends, get those interested people together to do something good. And so as a consequence of the last year of fundraising, our particular arm, the Ringling College arm, was able to receive a very, very generous scholarship for a third-year film student. And as he said at the award ceremony that was held at BMO, it's just been he and his mom for a long time. And he was incredibly touched and incredibly grateful.
I'm sure.
And to think that, that's what Groundworks is all about. It's really good people helping really good, talented people. And it doesn't take a lot. We all have those items that we'd like to just sort of say, okay, this doesn't bring me joy anymore, if you watch the Kitty Kondo. So we'd like people to dig in their closets, dig in their storage units, and find a way to reach out and help. And if they'd like more information, give me a call at the college. I think you're going to be giving my number.
Yep, we are.
And if you have any questions, I will be so happy to answer them.
Great. Well, thank you. I know you're very busy with all that you do at the college, and to help with this too is amazing. So thank you for all of your generous time.
Well, thank you for having me, and see you at the Made By Gallery.
Okay, thank you. Just ahead on Suncoast FYI, we learn about a unique local art business that will give your lawn a leg up. Some art that your neighbors will get a kick out of. Longlegs is a unique local business, and here to tell us all about it are Longleg artists Lucy Tite and Wayne Waxing.
Hello.
Hello. And all of your company you brought with you as well.
Our buds.
All your buds. So, Longlegs, obviously, but tell us about Longlegs.
Well, they're,
where do you start?
they're legs that love the lawn.
Yes.
They do well in lawn. If you sprinkle them with a little rain, throw some sun on them. They're mannequin legs, hollow, and we paint them all kinds of crazy colors and themes, as you can see.
So you can do custom,
We can
Yes.
do custom.
obviously.
A lot of these are custom. People order them, and they also go really well in plants. And as you see, they can sit at a side table.
Yeah, for a little cocktail stand. Right now we have a lovely cactus on it.
Yeah, you could put your phone on there, some keys, a beer.
The Wicked Witch of the West
Yes.
theme going on
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Yes, there's another behind you. Watch out.
Okay.
Yes.
They're all over.
And if you put those two together, you could put a mailbox on top. They look great.
Yeah, we have done that.
That's very cool.
And you just stick them on a pole in the garden or
All
in
right.
a potted plant.
So how did this all start? Because I know you're musicians, and we're going to talk about that, but how did you start with the Longlegs?
Well, it's a funny story. We were home and taking a walk around our block, and we saw some mannequin legs sticking up out of the garbage.
Oh,
and,
no.
Yeah, and I said, Wayne, let's take those home. And he planted them in our yard. And then they looked a little morbid, just two legs sticking up. So he said, I'm going to paint these. And he painted them the color of our house. And then a woman walked by, and she said, love your lawn legs. And that was like, she walked by a couple months later after many people walked by, smiling and giggling. And
But when she said that, we looked at each other,
we went,
and I said, let's run with it.
Yeah. Right?
yes.
So
There's
that
going to
was
be a
your,
lot of puns in this interview.
Yeah.
So that was your inspiration.
That was, well, we said,
how it all
Wow.
how it all started. Well, tell us about some of the ones that you brought with you today.
Well, they all have names.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Tex-Mex right here. And
So these are all yours personally? These are your family members? Or?
no, these are for sale. They're
Okay.
all for sale.
All
They're
right.
all at our website.
Okay.
This is called Ladybug Picnic right here.
That's
and then
sweet.
back there, a fan named that, and that one's called the Bee's Knees behind you,
Yep,
right there.
yep.
And of course, Wicked. These two are Wicked, and that's that one with the tree is has a little reader at the bottom, and that's called the Tree of Knowledge.
And there's Pollock back there.
Yeah.
Splash.
And that's for the roses. Let's see, who else do we have? We have Spot right here.
Like that.
This is Spot, and this is Weird Science. Groovy Baby. I'm good with the names. I got the names down.
I'm still
This
trying to
is
get 'em.
So you get the names and then you paint based on the names that...
we make
no,
up the
Lucy
names
comes
after.
in- oh, you do.
after
She'll
we,
sit
Okay.
there and stare at a leg and be like,
Okay.
what's it saying to me?
Yeah.
And then she'll do something and I'll be like, that should be called,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
kind of, it's a
Mix and match.
team effort. So
For a team.
where do you see your lawn legs traveling to in the future?
Well, we would love to take over the world of gnomes and flamingos.
Pink flamingos. We see Longlegs as the new garden gnome and new pink flamingo. They're gonna kick them out of the way.
I can see
Yeah.
that too. Ha ha.
yeah.
But
yeah.
we,
Yes. Go ahead.
we tour half the year, and Sarasota is our home base.
Yeah.
So this past winter we had some time and we started these legs, and we can't seem to make them fast enough. And so when we come back from tour this fall,
Okay.
we'll see.
Where
We'll
it
get them,
goes.
Yeah.
kick them back into fifth gear, and
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about your band a little bit before we leave today, because you're going to be here in Sarasota. Well, you've played here in Sarasota.
Yes, we do.
But you're leaving now for 4 months. You're going to be on the road. And what do you play? What's the name of your band, and what kind of music is it?
we
We're
are called Him for Her.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
this is our latest record. It's called Pop and Downers, and that's our daughter right there on the cover.
Some
And
pop music and
Yeah.
downer songs.
yeah, it has a mixture of everything.
Like, what kind of downer songs? Why would people
Well,
listen
Very
to
Downers
sad.
is in sad.
Oh.
Maybe
Like
a little
country music side.
Okay.
a little sorrowful.
Oh, okay.
But then the pop brings you right back up.
All right.
So
Okay, so
it's
it's a
a
mix.
mixture. Yeah.
All right.
And that was kind of a play on words, as is Him for Her.
Yes.
So-
I
And
like
this
that.
is a cigar box guitar that Lucy plays,
Mm-hmm.
being held by a lawn limb. That's the next adventure. And
Yep, and Wayne plays the one-man band, kind of, the drums, and does it all at the same time. We
Okay.
both sing,
Okay.
and yeah, and we're going to be traveling all over the United States and overseas in Europe. We're going to Ireland, and you can find us at himforher.com. That's
Okay.
all of our tour.
All right. And when
dates.
will you be back in Sarasota performing?
We'll be back in October. I think we're performing in November at Cafe in the Park,
Wonderful.
in Payne Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for being here, and I can't wait to see your next inspiration. when you
Nancy,
come
thank you for
back.
having
Yes,
us.
thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Next on Suncoast FYI, we get prepared for the upcoming hurricane season. The 2019 hurricane season officially begins tomorrow. Unbelievable. And here to prepare us with some important tips is SNN meteorologist Marco Lamagno. It's just unbelievable that it's here again.
Didn't we just finish it?
I
you
know, boy, that went by awful fast.
Yeah.
So I know you just got a new update. What is NOAA's outlook for this year's hurricane season, Marco?
Well, this one, it's interesting. I almost feel like it's a wash in this sense. They're predicting about a 40% chance of a near normal hurricane season.
What's near normal?
So near normal for them would be around 9 to 15 named storms, which is still a lot of storms.
Yeah.
Like a normal season will have some.
Yeah.
There's also a 30% chance of a below average season and a 30% chance of an above average season. So the percentages are really close to each other, and this is the reason why. We have an ongoing El Nino pattern. And normally when you have an ongoing El Nino pattern, it suppresses activity in the Atlantic. You have higher wind shear, and you have warmer waters in the Pacific instead of the Atlantic. But water temperatures are well above normal this year, despite the anticipation for increased wind shear. In addition to that, they're also expecting an enhanced West African monsoon season. So those factors should help increase activity. El Nino should help decrease activity. So they're just going with near normal there. There is some uncertainty. And that's why they say, look, if it's a normal season, you're getting a lot of storms, regardless.
There you go.
There's also something called, and I always have to have a paper with it because it's always something I get tongue-tied on. It's called the Atlantic Multi-Decadal Oscillation. What does that mean? Every few decades we go through calmer periods and less active periods and more active periods. In the past couple of decades, we've been in the more active period overall. We've had some years that have been below average, but overall we've seen more activity. Now, definitely when you have warmer waters in the Atlantic, you're prone to get more intense hurricanes. Michael, for example, last year, which we'll probably talk about a little later, but you know, when you have that kind of intense, or you have those kind of warm waters, you have waters that can supercharge these smaller hurricanes. And so that's something we'll be looking at, especially in the Gulf, throughout the hurricane season.
Okay. How does this compare with previous forecasts that we've been given?
Well, in 2016, they had said that the outlook would be difficult to create overall, but they did predict a near normal season at that time.
That was 2016.
In 2016.
Okay.
And I bring that up because it was the first above active season we had had since 2012. 2012 gave us Sandy, 13, 14, 15 were below average. Now, it ended up being above normal. They had said near normal, but they had said we see a good possibility that we're going to have more activity than previous years, which we did. 2017, they said it'd be above normal, and we all remember you had Harvey, you had Irma, you had Maria, and Jose was a Cat 4 in between all of that, didn't hit anything, but another intense major hurricane. So you had very powerful storms, and they had said above normal, so that compared. And then last year, they had said near normal to above normal in June, and so it was. It was actually more accurate than their updated August forecast of that year. So they would say 7 times out of 10, their forecast, or their outlook anyway, is on the money. And I would say that they've been pretty good at it.
That's pretty good, yeah.
And it's always great that they do this, at least to remind people, you know, get prepared now, because August and September are when things are really going to ramp up.
Right. And I know I hear you and our other meteorologists often say on SNN that, you know, whether it's an active season or not, it only takes one storm.
Right.
So what do you do? I mean, you know, how do active seasons, when there's nothing and we didn't see any landfalls, I mean, we still prepare.
Right. Well, you always have to prepare for it, but I think I like where you're going with that question, because in a sense, you can have an active season. Like 2010 was an extremely active season. There were no landfalling hurricanes. 2012, nothing made landfall in Florida, but we do remember Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we always bring up 1992. It was a below average season, but what happened that year? You had Hurricane Andrew. And Hurricane Andrew was one of only 4 Cat 5 hurricanes in recorded history that made landfall in the U.S., the others being Camille, Michael just last year, and an unnamed Labor Day hurricane back in 1935, which made landfall in Florida.
Okay, now when you know, when we say it only takes one storm, what do you do personally to prepare?
Well, I remember actually 2 years ago with Irma. I had, about a week in advance, since we saw the possibility that it could make landfall, I sent out a picture to all my friends on Facebook and also my professional pages. I'd said, I'm getting the basics right now, folks, and I'd gotten a few gallons of water, I think maybe half a dozen or so canned soups, and I'd gotten basics like that because I wanted to make sure I at least had that as a foundation. And so if it looked likelier, then later that week, which I ended up doing, I would get more and I would add to that. Definitely, I know we were living in the news building at that time when we were forecasting, so I brought half my apartment in here. And I would recommend, you know, if you are evacuating, because many of us live in Zone A and that's an evacuation area, I always recommend, you know, if you feel better, getting your stuff with you.
Yeah.
You know, you're leaving your house behind,
Yeah.
but if you feel better having that stuff, especially things like pictures, which can't be replaced,
Right.
then bring them.
Yep.
Because that's what I did. I thought, you know, if there's not an apartment when I come back,
Yep.
at least I have this.
Yes.
Right? And I brought my pet too, because I never ever leave, you know, Fluffy or
Right.
Spike.
And you have to think about their food or medications. I mean, all of these things that it's like, don't put it off. I mean, just have them ahead. Some of the things personally I thought of was get an extra cooler.
Yep.
Maybe put an extra bag of ice in your refrigerator, your freezer, so if you need to, and have something you can cook on, a grill or something with charcoal. So,
Propane
you know,
and all.
Yep.
We had tortellini soup when Hurricane Francis hit many years ago, so there you go.
Yep, there you go. You got to be ready. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, Marco.
You're welcome.
After the break, we hear about some exciting events to look forward to this weekend. Coming up this weekend, it's Snook Adam Kids Day on Anna Maria Island. Celebrate the end of the school year with free pizza, hot dogs, and drinks provided by the Anna Maria Island Privateers. You can even hop aboard their pirate ship. This event takes place Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at City Pier Park on Anna Maria Island. Plus, enjoy the beauty of small with the Florida Artist Group. This free exhibit features paintings, photography, sculptures, mixed media, and more. The beauty of small takes place all month long at the Ringling College of Art and Design. Call the gallery at 941-359-7563 for more information. If you would like to promote your community event on Suncoast FYI, we would love to hear from you, and this is a complimentary service. Please call our producer, Andrea Chu, at 941-361-4651. To view previous episodes, go to snntv.com. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next Friday on Suncoast FYI.